Hey everyone, my name is Dave Nixon and welcome to the Peak and Flow podcast. Today I'm going to talk about a very simple concept called B brands. BE brands, not the letter B. BE brands. Now, this is, I guess I'm talking about business to some degree, which is, I guess, a little bit odd for me, but there is a lot of benefit and utility to understanding this, whether you're in the fitness industry as a business owner or in other businesses as a business owner, or if you're thinking about a personal brand with what you do or anything associated with that. It doesn't really matter whatsoever at all. This is a really, really powerful framework, regardless of what sort of industry you're in anyway. I first came across the concept of B brands, what am I, 34, maybe 15 years ago, I guess, around that. Maybe 14 years ago. I probably would have been 19, 20. It's where I was working, where I used to work, and I think we just got a free ticket to go to this this new age style of delivery of business marketing content, but by a guy called Simon Hammond. And I actually ended up finding his book in a secondhand bookstore, which I have here, and I still not have read. I bought it before I started this business 12.5 years ago. I remember flicking through it, but the actual process of what he was speaking about with B brands is, it's not new, it's not unique, but when we're able to actually put things into a simple framework, it can show the depth of that framework as long as we can explain it simply. I was listening to a guy called Alex Hormozi recently, and he was actually talking about Facebook ads in this example that I'm about to give. And if people make it sound complicated, it's because they don't know it well enough to make it sound simple. Get that again. If people make it sound complicated, it's because they don't know it well enough to make it sound simple. Because things can be simple if you know the depth. There's like that sort of bell chart where it's this idea of like, you know, it's really simple. You just do this. And then later on, it's like, well, you've got to figure out all these things matter, all these other factors play a role in it as well. Then later on, it's like, it's actually really simple. Yes, all those factors play a matter, but coming from that angle, it's being able to make a simple decision with the depth of knowledge is completely different. And so these B brands speak to three main areas: believe, belong, behave. This is what we believe. This is who you belong to. This is how we behave. And knowing what I know now, especially with, for example, Ken Wilber's quadrants, and if you haven't Googled it, Ken Wilber's quadrants, you have I, we, it, and its. First person, second person, third person, fourth person perspectives. Now, the I in this is what I believe, right? We can say we believe. We'll get to that. But this is what I believe. This is my intention. This is my value, right? It's a first person perspective. Now, if a business doesn't have this, and this is Simon Sinek's Start With Why, the golden circle concept, which is really interesting in itself as well, has why, how, what. And if you haven't, as a circle, if you haven't already, you can jump on YouTube, listen to his TED Talk, How Great Leaders Inspire Action. It's a great TED Talk. One of my really good friends and business mentors, who worked in marketing with major brands for many years, said that he actually missed a component to that. So he has why, how, what. And the way that Simon explains it is that every business knows what they do, most know how they do it, but very few know why. But people buy what you do because of why you do it. They buy what you believe about what you do, right? They associate with that. And that's a really important point. If we're not clear on what we believe, what I believe as a business owner, and what it means to be a part of that, right, this vision, then it's really hard to buy into that vision and then associate it with the long term. And so the really powerful thing that my friend contributed, he goes, he's missing the who, which is who, why, how, what. Who am I speaking to? And that's where it's like, well, do I start with the why? Like, why is this important to me? And that allows me to go, okay, who am I speaking to specifically? But this golden circle approach by Simon Sinek starts with why? Believe. This is what I believe. People don't buy what you do. They buy why you believe what you do, right? People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it, right? Really important point. This is what we believe. This is who you belong to, right? This is your community. This is the culture. This is the belonging part of being a human, right? Believing is in this first person belief structure, right? It allows me to associate, if we believe this is who you belong to. And belonging is crucial, being an individual as part of a group. And then behave. And behave is really the it space. It's looking at this objective framework. framework may not be the right word, but this objective behavioral physical structure of a human body and what they can actually do. Now, if I was to really pull all that apart again, then we start seeing first person really is your clarity on vision. This is what I believe. As a business owner, as the leader, this is what I believe. And the business owner absolutely has to absolutely believe that. Otherwise, the people around them won't. It can't. If it's not fully embodied, it will not filter across. It will not spill over, right? It absolutely will not. So clarity on vision, this is the intention, this is a mission, this is the vision, this is the belief. All of this is a first person phenomenon. And when it's been able to clearly articulated and communicated, then that's where it flows over to community, right? It flows over to this is who you belong to because we have a shared value. We have a shared belief. There is shared meaning. And one of the beautiful things about this second quadrant, this second component, this we space, is that it's yes, I can call it community, but what it really means is common unity. All of these individuals have a common thing that unites us, community. And so the ability to articulate our why, our belief, what our vision is, our intention, allows people to associate with that so that they can belong. This is why it's so powerful and important. And what we believe and who you belong to allows us to go, and this governs how we behave. I had somebody come into my gym the other week and she's like, I have never been to a gym before where all of the clients say hello. She just was not used to it whatsoever at all. It's just like, well, that's just how it is. That's just the community, but that's part of the behavior because they were once you walking in for the first time when they didn't know anyone. And so when it's easy to say hello to someone, which is just such a natural, free, normal human thing, it literally is a free value add, then we start to have this different common unity where the way that we behave is fundamental to how we're showing up. But this is really looking at your behaviors, your actions, like your physical KPIs, key performance indicators, your energy. This is where you see that, match my vibe kind of construct. A little bit more millennium there. But the point there being is that when we can see from the movement, as in a community movement, a collective movement, a group movement, a business, an organization, a team, whatever the case, whatever names you want to put to it, when we can see this belief clearly articulated and clearly embodied, when we see this shared as a belonging, right? Even hearing that, it's a belonging to be a part of something, right? And if you can offer people a framework for that, well, they can simply opt in. It just makes it so natural and easy. Then we're starting to build this community that's just going to be, from a business perspective, absolutely raving fans. But this is where it comes into a third space. If you're not too familiar with the term third space, what it's really pointing to is that you have home and work, and then a third space. In the third space you go, there isn't anything sort of asked of you, you're not relied upon, you're actually able to go there and just, relax and de-stress, or whatever the term might be. For some people, this could be church, it could be the pub, it could be the football team, it could be the car ride or the train ride home. And for a lot of people, it's the gym. And so the gym can be the third space. So being able to create a space as a third space for someone based upon what you believe, who they belong to, and how we behave, which is just so natural. It's not going, this is how we behave. We don't say these things. These things are not written on the wall. They are embodied. They're absolutely embodied, and they're embodied from the top down. Not just in the human, not just in the individual. I'm talking in the whole community. Absolutely, the leaders of that have to fundamentally believe that, embody it. They have to walk the talk. And this is where it really shows this, is that embodiment is the highest level of knowingness. And it comes from years and years and years of showing up, which is the physical part, right? Showing up is it's the behaving here, the physical showing up and doing it again and again and again and again, driven by the intention, driven by the belief, right? And the clearer that we can get on that, the stronger our community will be, and it will go through thick and thin. It will absolutely go through thick and thin. It'll be there regardless. And so what's so crucial with this, and to round this out, is if we can have clearly articulate our beliefs, give people an opportunity to opt into who they can be a part of, who they belong to, and then walk the talk and be the behavior. We move to this space of embodying all three of those areas. Then it doesn't. You don't have to try. You're just it. You're just being it. You're just doing it. Being and doing, and they're both important. And in that space, magic can happen in many ways. So, either way, welcome to the B Brands. If you found this useful, then it would mean the world to me if you'd pass it on to someone else that you think would also find it useful. If you haven't already, you can jump on, grab a copy of my book, Money Yourself, either on my website or anywhere online that sells books. You should absolutely check out our retreats and check out everything else that we have as well. That should be in the show notes. But that's me done for now. Until next time, peace and pizza. I'll see you soon.